For the vast majority of your life, you've been told what to do. You would ask permission for the simplest things in life. And then one day you woke up and you were expected to just be able to do everything on your own. But it's not that easy. I want you to understand that the reason that you feel lost right now is because you don't have any context for your own life. It's like you're stuck on a boat in the middle of the ocean. You look around and all you see are waves. All you see is the vast sea and the blue skies. There are no landmarks for you. You start to question yourself, where am I? How did I get here? Where am I going? And of course, you don't have any answers to those questions. So anxiety starts to kick in. It starts to take control over your rational thoughts. All you can really do is just float around aimlessly, hoping that somebody else comes along to save you. I've been there. I spent months, years of my life feeling worthless, feeling like I wasted my life. And there were days where I just didn't want to exist on the planet anymore. I'm sure that you've watched self-improvement videos in the past. I want you to understand that this is not going to be your typical self-improvement video. The point of this video isn't so that you watch it, feel good for 5-10 minutes, and then turn it off so you can go binge watch another one. The point of this video is so that you can start taking action towards the goals and the dream life that you have for yourself. Understand it only takes one step every day to start moving towards your destination. With all that in mind, the intended way to watch this video is for you to follow along with me. So you're going to need a few items. You're going to need a notebook, a pen, and a snack. Yes, a snack. I'm not even joking about that. And I say a pen because we don't want to use pencils around here, okay? Any mistakes that we make along the way, we're going to own up to those. So grab a pen, and whenever you write something, just be confident about it. If you have to scratch it out, that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's all part of the process. So go ahead and pause the video right here, grab those 3 items, and I'll just be waiting here patiently for you to come back. All right, you got them? We good? No? I want you to ask yourself right now, how bad do you want to change? How long have you been stuck in your own mind? How many days have you woken up wishing that you were a different person in a different life? How many more days do you want to have to keep waking up like that? I'm telling you right here, right now, that I've been in the same place as you, that I've found things that worked for me so that I could get out of that state of mind. Are you really going to pass up that opportunity? So please, I implore you, get these items and follow along, okay? I know this is a leap of faith, but I'm here for you. So with that out of the way, the first section of this video is going to be covering taking personal responsibility. The first and most important step on your self-improvement journey is to take responsibility and ownership for your own life. The most difficult part about taking responsibility for your life is now everything that happens to you, good, bad, or in between, you have a say. If somebody were to walk up to you right now and insult you, it's not your fault that you got insulted, but it's now your responsibility to choose, how am I going to respond to it? How am I going to internalize it? How am I going to move past it? So for instance, if you're not happy with your current job, it's now your responsibility to either find a new one that you do like, or to change your mindset so that you can find the positives about where you are. No more blaming your boss, no more blaming the government, no more blaming minimum wage. It's all on you now. It can be tempting to hear take responsibility and assume that that means that you need to just do everything yourself. Taking responsibility simply means that you are going to utilize the resources that you have available to yourself. So if you have supportive people in your life, those are people that you should be reaching out to. Every step of the way, use every single available resource that you have to make your self-improvement journey as sustainable and as enjoyable as you can for yourself. So as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be multiple assignments throughout this video. It's very, very important that you follow along with these. So the first assignment is to simply repeat after me. I am responsible for my own life. That's it. Simple. We've already established that you're not happy with where you are right now, so we need to start setting goals so that we can start moving towards where we want to be. So section 2 is determine what aspects of your life that you want to change and setting goals to help start working towards achieving those. A very common goal is to move out of your parents' place, but let's be a little bit more specific than that. If you want to move out of your parents' place, then where are you going to live? If you're going to rent a place, do you need to pay rent? How are you going to get the rent money? You understand? we can take a large goal and slowly start to break it down into smaller pieces. And then we can take those small pieces and begin taking action towards those. So assignment number 2 is to pause the video and write down as many or as few goals as you would like. So go ahead and do that. Use your pen and your notebook, and I'll be waiting here patiently for when you're ready to keep going. All right, so you got your goals written down. That's great. So section 3 is to answer your why. Why do you want to achieve these goals? You need to understand that at this point, if you write down your goals without a why, then your goals are just words on a page. This is a huge trap that I fell into when I first started on my self-improvement journey. You need to have a clear vision, a clear reason, a clear purpose as to why you're working towards these goals. Without determining your why, you'll find that when you go to achieve your goals, every single roadblock along the way will just be one more reason for you to quit or stop along the path. If you have a very strong why and a very strong reason, these speed bumps aren't real obstacles. You will persevere and you will overcome them because you need to reach your goals. So one quick example I can give you from my personal life. One of my biggest goals right now is to achieve financial freedom. Now it's easy to just look at my personal reasons why I want this, because I want to have options in life. I want to be able to wake up and choose what I do throughout the day. I don't want to have to answer to a boss. I want to be my own boss. Financial freedom does give me all of those things. But this is kind of a trap because it's very easy to get into your own head. You'll end up in certain situations where you just lose all motivation and you just lose all faith in yourself. And if you lose faith in yourself and all your goals are self-driven, then you suddenly also lose faith in your goals. It's very important that you listen to the next part. When you choose your whys, don't only come up with selfish reasons. It's great to have selfish reasons as to why you want to do things. I'm not telling you not to do that. But what I am saying is that you need to consider other people when you're thinking about your goals. And if there are no people right now who you feel are worth dedicating your goals to, I understand. Here's what I recommend to you. Going back to my example of financial freedom, I also think about my future wife, my future kids, my future family. I think about my parents in the future and how I'll be able to support them. I think about my future friends, how I'll be able to give back to them for the things that they were able to do for me. Whenever I start to feel like my own self-motivation is falling apart, I just think about the future and the future that I want for myself. And that's usually all it takes for me to get myself back on the right track. Now, I need you to understand how important this is. Having a purpose, having a why is probably one of the most important things that any young man can do for themselves. Without a why, without a vision, without a purpose, we wander. We're aimless. We have nothing. We're worth nothing. So really focus in. Try to think about, why do I want this? And don't think small. Think big. Bigger than you've ever thought in your entire life. Your why has to be something that you are not willing to budge on. It has to be something that allows you to stay focused when you're having rough days, rough weeks, and rough months. Remember, we told ourselves that we're taking responsibility for our own lives. So don't expect anybody else to take over these goals for you. You have to be the one to want to do it. And you have to be the one who puts in the work day after day. If things aren't going well, you need to be the one who holds yourself responsible to make changes so that you can continue to see progress. So assignment 3 is to pause the video and write down your whys for your previous goals. Don't worry too much if you struggle with this at first. You can always go back and you can revise things, you can add things, you can remove things. The point is to start thinking about it and at least have something written down. I want you to understand that those that have the strongest whys will always accomplish more than those who don't. So go ahead, take a moment and do this. I'll be waiting here when you're ready to keep going. Now that you've set your goals and you know why you want to achieve them, you're going to be tempted to just want to start working towards them right away. But there's a very important step that we need to take before we set off on our goals. We need to be able to stay in a healthy state of mind so that we can continue remaining consistent when working towards our goals. And the way that we can build this healthier state of mind is by practicing gratitude. Section 4 in the video is to learn how to practice gratitude. And I do say practice Gratitude is not something that you just wake up and you suddenly have an abundance of. It's something that you need to look for. It's something you need to work towards. It's a skill that you build over time. When we end up in that negative self-doubt, self-talk spiral where we can't find anything good in the world, that is caused by a lack of gratitude. And when we get stuck in those situations, no one can really get us out of those situations but ourselves. So we need to be able to reprogram our minds so that we can look for the best in the world around us. You've heard of people that have gone through horrible life-changing accidents or had terrible upbringings, yet they still seem to have a positive and upbeat outlook on the way they look at life. They're able to do this because they have gratitude for what they do have in life instead of brooding and fixating on what was taken away from them. So for the fourth assignment, we're going to practice gratitude journaling. And this is really a lot simpler than it may sound. All you're going to do is you're going to take your pen and your notebook and you're going to write down the words, I am grateful for, and then just write something that you're grateful for. So here's 3 examples. You're not allowed to use them because I'm giving them to you, but they'll help you start on the right track. So I am grateful for water. I am grateful for food. I am grateful for sleep. Right? It's really that simple. So I want you to pause the video and write down 5 things in your life that you're grateful for right now. If this takes some time, if this takes some work, if this takes some effort, I encourage you to dig deep. Really think about what can you be grateful for right now. Just look around and pick 5 things that stand out to you. Go ahead and pause the video and do this, and I'll be waiting here patiently when you're ready to keep going. So you may have finished this exercise and felt like you didn't really get anything out of it. I want to give you some perspective. The reason we gratitude journal is to build stepping stones towards finding gratitude in the large negative experiences that happen in our lives. Once you can be grateful for the worst experiences that you've ever had in your entire life, then nothing will really faze you from that point moving forwards. Even if something does happen to you, you'll be able to find the silver lining in that, and you'll be able to move past it much more easily and much more quickly than you would otherwise. If you feel like you've wasted your life and that you're just now getting yourself back on track, don't fixate on that. Just be grateful for the fact that you're taking those first few steps forward. Be grateful for the fact that you can listen to and follow along with this video. Be grateful for the many years of life that you have left to live. This is how we're going to start to change the way that our minds work. We don't fixate on the negative. We find what we can be grateful for. What I recommend is to gratitude journal at least 3 things every day. You will repeat things, it'll happen, but I want you to try to be creative and try to think of different things every single time you journal. So now we've taken responsibility for our lives, we've set ourselves goals, we've determined why we want to achieve them, and now we've found out how to remain consistent when working towards those goals. The next step is to reclaim your focus so you can actually start making real progress towards achieving your goals. So, section 5 is to practice mindfulness. I want you to understand that mindfulness is the king of productivity. We live in a society where almost everything we see around us is an advertisement. Our focus and our attention is under constant attack by professionals who know exactly what to say, what to do, and what to show you to get you to pay attention to their products. By reclaiming your attention, you are reclaiming ownership over your own life. Think about the fact that news stations have spent years upon years on writing the perfect headlines that get you to stop and look at their newspapers. Think about the fact that there's social media companies that employ the most intelligent people on the planet just so they can get you to keep scrolling a little bit more. Think about the fact that there are entire corporations that have marketing teams full of people that get paid much more than you do just so that you want to buy their products. Until you can start pushing away the thoughts of what other people want you to do and start forming your own thoughts and opinions and confronting why you have your own thoughts and opinions, it will be extremely difficult for you to remain consistent and focused on working towards your goals. So, how do we practice mindfulness? It's actually pretty simple. Mindfulness is really just the practice of being completely present by being completely in the moment, right here, right now. I want you to push aside your pen and your notebook, and I want you to take out your snack. Wait, you did get a snack, right? If you didn't get a snack, I want you to pause the video, go ahead and grab a snack. I was being completely serious back then. So here's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna eat our snack. I want you to tell yourself right here and right now that you will not eat your snack. And I want you to truly, truly believe it. And then I want you to pay attention later on to what your mind and what your body does when you're confronted by the snack that you've already told yourself you won't eat. So I'm gonna fade the screen to black and I want you to just focus and listen to what I have to say, okay? So pick up your snack, focus intently on it. Push away the thought of eating it. All you're doing right now is examining it. Does it have grooves, divots? Does it have holes? Are there any small or large imperfections? Turn it around in your hand. Do you notice anything unique about it? Is there any branding on it? What does it show or say? Take note of the fact that your body is still producing saliva, that your stomach is churning. Your body is reacting to the anticipation of eating, even though you already told yourself that you wouldn't eat it. Take a few more moments to continue examining it. Now, put your snack up to your ear, or your ear to it. Does it make any noise? If so, what noise does it make? Try tapping it. Try scraping it. Try bending it or breaking it. Take in the sound, the uniqueness of it. Remember, we're not eating it, just observing. Take a few moments to continue listening to your snack. Next, how does your snack smell? Does it have multiple ingredients in it? Does each ingredient smell differently? How are they different? What thoughts, memories, or emotions does each scent make you think of? Take a few moments to smell your snack. Finally, we're going to slowly begin eating the snack. Take a small bite. Take in the texture of it. Is it crunchy, chewy, soggy, or slimy? What about the flavor? Is it sweet, salty, bitter, spicy? Is it tangy? Chew slowly and eventually swallow. Try to feel the food as it moves down into your stomach. Strange as that all was, you have just practiced mindfulness. You may have already heard about meditation. Meditation is just one way to practice mindfulness. But as I mentioned earlier, mindfulness is to just be present, conscious, and aware of the current moment. Another fantastic mindfulness exercise is to journal. Think about how easy it is to give somebody else advice when they ask for it, and how difficult it can be to sort through your own situations. Journaling allows you to look at your own thoughts and emotions from a third-person lens. So when you're going through challenging times, processing difficult emotions, or just have too many thoughts in your head, I want you to take your pen and your notebook and just start writing everything down. Everything. Don't worry about any of it making sense, right? The point isn't for somebody else to read it and understand it. The point is for you to get all those loud thoughts out of your head and somewhere else. After you finish journaling, I want you to take a break, whether that's to sleep on it or just walk away for an hour. And I want you to start to question everything that you have written down. So if you said that you feel worthless, write why, and really dig deep into that. I want you to confront every single negative thought and emotion that you have. I want you to confront every positive thought and emotion that you have as well. Maybe not for the sake of breaking it down, but acknowledging it, right? This is important. Be aware that after you've taken responsibility for your life and after you've started to practice mindfulness, you're now in a state where you're going to be confronting a lot of your own thoughts. You're going to be confronting your stereotypes, your preconceived notions, your own thoughts about who you are. It can be an extremely overwhelming and exposing process. So I want you to be patient and kind to yourself, and I want you to take this at your own pace. Practicing mindfulness can be one of the most difficult skills in the world. Your brain will naturally try to filter and shut out things that it doesn't think are important. Put effort into being present in the moment, because otherwise your brain will go on to autopilot. It doesn't mean that you have to be present all the time. But when you're focusing on work or when you're in a deep conversation with somebody, tap into that mindfulness and really be present with the other person. So we've now moved on to section 6, and this will be the hardest section of them all, and it's to start putting everything together and actually applying it. The reason why this is so difficult is because it's all on you from here on forward. I can't make you hold yourself accountable. I can't make you set your goals. I can't come up with your whys. I can't make you practice gratitude, and I can't make you be mindful. Remember, you took responsibility, so you need to do that here. You will be the reason you succeed, or you will be the reason that you stumble. In this stage, you need to be your own best friend. Understand that the goal right now isn't to wake up tomorrow and be a changed person. The goal is to wake up, be 1% better than yesterday, and just focus on making progress. When you find your progress starting to plateau, then I want you to take your old journals and reread them. Look at your state of mind from a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few years ago. Look at how different you are now compared to how you were then, and use that as proof that you're making progress. This can help motivate you to keep moving forward. I want you to keep your goals front and center. Put your goals as your phone lock screen. Tape them to your walls. Put them as your PC's background. Wherever you're going to see them on a regular basis, put them there, because you need to constantly be reminded of your goals to stay on track. Make sure you're reminding yourself every day of your why. Remember that your why is your purpose in life. It is what motivates you. It's what pushes you forward. Without your why, it'll be easy to lose track of where you are and where you're going. But if you can keep your why in the back of your head, then you can easily course correct when things start to diverge off of their path. Remember to practice gratitude. As I said, I recommend doing this every single day. Write down at least 3 things in your life that you're grateful for. Dig deep. Try not to repeat things and get creative about what you can express gratitude for. Remember that mindfulness is the key to productivity. I recommend doing daily meditation for at least 2 to 5 minutes. This is not as easy as it sounds, and I highly recommend that you use some kind of either guided meditation YouTube video or some kind of app. I also recommend journaling daily or whenever your thoughts start to get too loud in your own head. Remember, just write and write and write until you physically or mentally just can't anymore. Get every thought out of your head. Then after you finish writing, go back and do a deep dive into what you wrote and question everything. Throughout your journey, you will struggle. This will not be easy. And in fact, this may be the most difficult thing that you set out to do in your entire life. But as long as you keep working at it, as long as you keep making progress, then I promise you, you will change your life. The best feeling in the world is when you start to see changes in your own life and you realize that those changes came from you. That is the feeling that I want you to feel for yourself. Once you realize that you can start to make changes in your own life, you will start to get addicted to it. It's a really beautiful process. I want you to understand that what I'm giving you today is just a very, very brief and small piece of the self-improvement puzzle. But I don't want to give you information overload. So just take what you learned today and start putting that into practice for now. You got this, okay? It may feel like right now you're the only person in your life who wants to see you succeed. But I promise you, as you begin to grow and as you start to see progress, you'll find yourself surrounded by a community of people who only want the best for you. If you've completed all of these exercises, then I have no doubt in my mind that you have the drive and motivation that it takes to actually start to change your life. If you have any specific questions about any of the things I talked about today, please, please, please leave a comment down below. You'd be surprised. Any questions that you have, I promise you, there are 10, 20, 50, 100 people that have the exact same question and would love for you to just ask it for them. Okay, that's how these things work. If you don't want to leave a public comment on YouTube, you know my Instagram link is in the description. Feel free to just DM me on Instagram. I may not respond right now in this very moment, but I promise you, as soon as I see the message, I'll do my best to get back to you and give you as detailed an answer as I can. I'm also on my own self-improvement journey, and I have a lot of growing to do. So if you want to follow me on my own self-improvement journey, feel free to hit subscribe. I appreciate the time that you took today, and until next time.